virtually divide one single LAN into multiple virtual LANs. And also we have seen the configuration of the VLANs, how we can assign the ports. So from this topic, from this section, probably we'll be moving on with some other concept of trunking. So here we'll be seeing the same concept of the VLANs. What if when you have multiple switches in your network? Because if you remember in the previous section, in the previous class, we have discussed about the concept of the VLANs with respect to one single switch normally, right? So what if you have VLAN 10, how we can assign the ports in the VLAN 20 like that. But what if you have multiple switches in your network? Because technically in the production scenarios, you can see a single VLAN can span over multiple switches. Now it actually means that, let's take an example here. In my production network, let's say this is my topology. We got a building. So if I take an example of this is my building, and there are some users of accounts. Let's say this color represents the users from accounts, let's say. Okay, so now there are some users, and in this again we have multiple floors. Let's take an example. This is first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, and fifth floors. And we got some users of accounts, let's say sitting in the ground floor or the first floor, and there are some users of accounts sitting in the fourth floor, and there are some users of accounts on the second floor and the fifth floor, let's say. Now similar way, we got some marketing department, let's say. So let me take a blue color here. So marketing department, and we got some users of marketing department sitting in different floors, let's say here and here. So there are computers connected on different floors. So likewise, we do have some sales department, let's say. There are some users sitting here and here. So there is a possibility that the users, when they are connecting, so we are not physically, dividing the LANs. So virtually we will be creating a VLANs. Now most likely the connectivity will be, so every user will be connecting to the nearest possible switch. So let's say every floor will be having multiple switches or single or multiple switches, and will ensure that each and every user or each and every device is connected to the nearest cable, nearest centralized device. Because practically it is not possible. You cannot say that, okay, I'll place one switch here, maybe a separate switch for VLAN marketing, and I'll say that all the blue VLANs will only connect to one single switch. Because practically, if you see the cabling wise, that's really not a good idea. Because if you take an example, this is on a third floor, so probably, and if you take an example of you have around 10 users, probably you need to bring something around 10 cables connecting to the third floor and from the first floor, So it's not possible to make everyone to connect on the same switch or connect as near as possible. So basically that is not possible. So most likely the users will be connecting to the nearest closest switch or the closest device, the closest wiring we call it as. And basically this is how they connect. And then between the switches we do have some cross cables. So switch to switch we use the cross cables. So basically there will be some uplinks. We call them as uplinks. Typically high speed links, maybe gig ethernet or more than that. And these uplinks, again, we have some redundant links also. Of course, we'll talk about this in the spanning tree, because if you use one single link, if that link fails, again, there will be a problem. So basically, this is how the connectivity is done generally. So if you observe this topology, so we do have some users of accounts department, let's say. Now this accounts department, we have some users connecting on switch 5, like here, and the users of the same department, let's say VLAN 10, and some of the users of the VLAN 10 connecting to switch 4, and some of the users of the accounts department connecting to switch 2, and some of the users of the accounts department connecting to switch 1. So the concept of VLANs remains the same. Again, what we discussed, the VLANs, VLAN means one logical LAN, which means these users can still communicate with each other. They can still communicate with each other because basically they belong to one broadcast domain. We discussed that broadcast domain, or one LAN, we can say as they are like one virtual LAN, and basically they are all in the same subnet. Of course, we design in such a way So as long as we do have a physical connectivity properly, there's no connectivity issues, and as long as they are part of one broadcast domain and probably the same subnets, they can communicate. The concept of VLAN still remains the same, but the difference here is we will be adding multiple switches. So probably we'll try to understand, okay, so now the same VLAN users can talk to each other, but how they are going to communicate when the same VLAN users are spanned over multiple switches. So here we do have a users spanned over multiple switches. So that's what we'll try to understand first. First, we need to understand that the users of the same VLAN can span over multiple switches, which means the users of the same VLAN may connect to 2 or more switches within the same LAN. As you can see, this is the same example here. You can see there is a VLAN IT, probably the users on a different floor and are connecting to different switches, and the VLAN 3 and the VLAN 4. So probably they can all talk to each other, means within the VLAN. Because even a very small business, you may have technically more than one switch in general because of the different floats we have. So probably in this section, we'll try to understand how the VLAN communication happens when we have multiple switches involved within the VLAN for one VLAN users.